Welcome to the Wednesday workshop, and I'm here with Karis White. Give us a little bit of your background.
So I've been a celebrant for almost 10 years. When I planned my wedding, I loved the process and I thought, what can I do in this industry? Basically became registered and went from doing sort of 20 weddings a year to doing about 100. Yeah.
What have you seen that? What have you seen the trends, I guess, over the last 3 years? What have you seen the difference that is happening in the civil ceremony?
I think that, this is going to sound funny, but I think that Instagram has really shaped the bride. So brides love flowers and particular colors, and they have a visual image of what they want their ceremony to look like. So people will pick a celebrant based on their looks or what they have in their mind, you know. Some people go celebrant, priest, male, and then they meet males and go, oh, actually, maybe that's not what I want. I just met a couple who met 4 male celebrants and came to me because they were like, you know, I actually think I want a bit of a compassionate nature, and that wasn't coming across in the meetings that I had with the male celebrants.
A civil ceremony, the beauty about it is that you can really construct it the way that you want to.
Definitely.
You're not locked into, I know with some churches, you have prescribed vows. What do you offer your clients?
So basically I meet my clients in an initial meeting, sort of chat to them, get them to get an understanding of who I am and what I do. I get them to fill in a questionnaire, so 1 each, which provides me with a good amount of background information. So I feel like if I meet a client face to face, they often sort of are quite closed when I ask them information about, you know, what do you love about each other. So a questionnaire is a really great way to go about it. And then I also have written sort of a little bit of a book of vows and askings and ring exchanges. So if people are stuck in those areas but they wanted something but they didn't know what to say, they could look to this for either inspiration or I could help them write it. Those sorts of elements, the vows, obviously I do have sort of a template of things they could use, but most people will personalize them but have no idea where to start. So it kind of cuts down their Googling.
And what other aspects can couples introduce into a ceremony?
Look, there's lots of different things. Obviously, lots of cultural things that you can include too. So, you know, talking about how things have changed through the years, even in the celebrant world, things have changed and celebrants have sort of stopped offering those things. I love them. I think there's nothing better than having a different culture and really bringing it to the foreground so that everybody else can see what is done, you know, in your family's background. I think that that's amazing.
Part of the workshop in putting these together is, particularly with the civil ceremony, is videographers and photographers know where to stand. I completely understand that you need to get your shots, and it is very important you're engaged by the bride and the groom in order to cover the ceremony. But there are ways of doing it, and there are ways of just being in people's way. And when you have an outdoor ceremony, it's suddenly a license to go wherever I want. And to a degree, there is a lot more flexibility, but just do bear in mind, you don't want to stand in anybody's way. You know, try and minimize crossing through the front eye line where everybody's looking at the couple and looking at what's happening, who's reading. It is really, really important to show constraint. Videographers, brief your photographers. Have a conversation prior to the ceremony beginning. Give yourself enough time to set up. So get there 30 minutes before the ceremony begins, even a little more if you can. Work out the logistics for your mic and your audio and so forth. Again, don't strap on your friggin' lapel mic onto the microphone. It's horrible. You also have, you know, some of them have the old Sennheisers have the antenna. It's just horrible. Don't do it. Get a feed from the speaker. If not, lapel mic the groom. Get close enough without getting close enough in order to pick up everything that you need to. But just make sure that you give yourself preparation, and timing is everything. Information and knowing what's going to unfold prior to it unfolding is all power to you. Knowing where your photographer is going to stand and how they're going to behave on the day is so important. And when you do have a rapport, again, it is absolutely like a dance, because you're looking out for each other. You don't want to be in each other's shots, but you want to make sure that each of you are getting an amazing shot for the couple, because ultimately, at the end of the day, you're engaged by the couple and you want to do the right thing by them.
Of course.
Getting the shots, but not sacrificing the overall aesthetics of a wedding.
Equally as important is a rehearsal, lots of celebrants will hate that I've said that word. Because if you don't have one, you know, you're flying blind on your most important day of your life. And I would hate for someone to be uncomfortable or unsure or not know what they're doing.
Rehearsal, most definitely. It's one of the most poignant moments of your life.
Exactly.
Today. Also, this is a beef of mine, and I've said it again and again and again and again, but look, you see how Karis is dressed, right? She is presented, however, she's working. So these are work clothes, but she's at a wedding where everyone has spent time, money, effort, and thought into what they're going to look like, right? Dress appropriately. Jeans, runners, t-shirts, none of that is appropriate at all. We'll leave it at that. We'll have all the detailed notes and how to get in touch with Karis as well. But I hope that was helpful, and please do be mindful. There are, again, just because it's a civil ceremony,